Did they leave already? Okay, I think they left already. Oh, they went that way. Okay, that was my kids. That was a very brief stop, but I was glad to see them at least a little bit and tell them the story. Let me get in the truck. Now I've got cake in my teeth. So Lucas saved me a piece of his birthday cake in the freezer, and he finally brought it this time. Last time I saw him, he forgot it, but this time he brought it. It was a frozen cake, so we ate some. And Madeline's birthday is Friday. I hope you can hear me with this thing. All right. Traffic. So, hey, cat. Hi, Jojo. Cat sitting in my seat. So I got to remount this. Oh, they love that. That was cool. Oh, thank you for doing this project because they like that kind of stuff, and I was glad to get them on camera. I hope you could hear me through this. I really don't get that. I don't get how you can hear me. I don't understand. It's in the case. I don't understand how you can hear me. So it's okay. I mean, maybe you don't. Maybe you just see me. That'd be too bad. So anyway, that was my visit. I hope you can hear me because I don't understand how you do that. But wet ones. Let me show you Jojo. Take this out. I don't understand how you hear me. I don't. On the side, there's this mic in, but I don't understand where you can hear me on this thing. But there's Jojo. Jojo. Hey, Jojo. So majestic sitting up there on the dash of my car, on the dash of my truck. All right. So now it's only 8:30. They had to get moving. That was great. I had a good time. They're great kids. They're just fantastic, and I'm the luckiest person on the planet. I really am. They understand. They understand. I think they're healthy because I always blame the family court. I always say nice things about their dad when I'm with them. Not always nice. I mean, you tell the truth. You say that he lies a lot, but that doesn't mean you can't love him. And this is, it's this. And mom isn't perfect either, of course. Parents aren't perfect, but I want them to blame the family court, and the family court hates that. Did he spit on here? Or he fogged up. He went, I fogged it up. That's just great. I mean, that's not, I don't like that. That's a little bit. But, all right. Yeah. So I was glad to have the camera with me. Okay, I'm going to put you, well, you know what? I got to get back to, I got a couple things I need to do. I need to go pick up my mail from Cedric. Now, when I first got out of jail here in San Francisco, they did help me, and I might actually stop by and show you where I lived for a few months while I was going to trucking school. They sent me to trucking school. I needed a job. I just wanted a place to stay. I needed something to get me trained, and I didn't. And I was applying for all sorts of jobs in driving, delivery jobs. I loved that. I actually was a courier for 2 years in Beverly Hills, California for a while after I left science, and while I was pregnant, actually. For Madeline, my first child, I worked in Southern California for a while for a delivery service, and I delivered to all the studios. It was very interesting. I got on all the back lots and everything. I was thinking about being a writer then, and I probably, but I became a mom instead. And you could always write even while you're being a mom. I just never wrote the scripts that I was going to do, but I had a blast. And I always liked driving, even back then when I was getting out of science and becoming a mommy. I was taking a job as a driver, and I drove all over LA delivering packages. So, and even here for a while after trucking school, when I was applying, I was being very honest. I applied to all sorts of trucking companies, and some of them flat out don't even accept your application if you have a felony on your record. And I do now. I'm appealing it, and I think I might win the appeal on a lot of counts and whatever, but in the meantime I have a felony, and pride was surprised because I openly said I have a felony, yet they took me on. And then since then, they said they didn't check. They never checked, and that's probably why they invited me on. And they also said they did 2 or 3 thorough background checks on me, and nothing came up. I said, wonderful. I don't care how you hired me, because now they're happy with me, but I had to get in somewhere. And I'm very happy with Pride. I'm just like, oh my God, it's like the best company. I hear about it. I guess they don't pay as much as other companies, but I'm just so happy just to be driving a truck. And I worked for UPS as a while. Just before Christmas, they need something called driver helpers, and I got in that because UPS and Safeway are both very good companies in California, at least for giving felons a chance. I mean, felons after they've done their time and served whatever it is they did. And I love that. I want to, UPS might be a future company for me if I need to get something local. Right now I'm committed to Pride. I'm committed to at least 6 more months with them because they did train me, and I want to stick with them, but there is going to be a time when I'm going to want to be home more, a lot more, like every night more, like do a local job in the future, and I might consider something like UPS. So I'm glad I got in, because at UPS they only hire people who have started at the very bottom, and I did very well, and they liked me. I worked really hard for 2 weeks, and they really liked me. So I could be maybe not a truck driver then. I don't mind delivering packages, whatever it is, where I could be home every night. But the truck driving worked out well because the state of California, ironically, I was looking for a job 2 years ago. And I was with the kids 1 week, and their father had them for 1 week. It was 50-50 time. It's the default value that I think all divorces should have for both parents, unless one or the other has committed a crime. That's what I'm proposing. That's just default. You don't go to family court and see who the better parent is. It's just crazy. People fight, and it makes the kids feel horrible, and one parent is evil and the other one isn't, and one is the custodial parent, the better parent. It's just horrible. So anyway, at that time we were doing the 50-50. The kids loved it, and they prospered and they grew, and that's their favorite schedule. They actually requested that schedule, 1 week with mom and 1 week with dad, and they just loved it. Because there was a little less stigma attached, and it was cool to have 2 different homes. And as long as you make it cool and you have no stigma attached, the kids are fine with divorce. It's just the stigma is more than anything. It's worse than the actual. Anyway, so while I was doing that, I wanted to be a trucker. So I applied to the exact trucking school I went to, and it was too much money, and I couldn't figure out a schedule where I was 1 week off, and it just didn't seem like it was a practical thing for me to do. While I had the kids 1 week, I couldn't. It just didn't quite work out. But it's ironic that at the time, way like 2 or 3 years ago, I wanted to do trucking, and I just couldn't get in. So I'm not recommending it, but becoming a felon and spending some time in jail and getting out, it was called California Service League. When I got out, I was applying for various delivery jobs, and one of the people that I worked with, a case manager, said, hey, why don't you just go to trucking school and become a trucker then? And I said, what? I can't afford that. And they said, well, there's a program here, California Service League, and they'll, if you're a felon and you're out of jail and whatever, and they'll pay for it, all of it. It was like $5,000 or something. I don't know what it was, 3 or 5. So I'm going, oh my God, you're kidding. You mean I just had to become a felon to become a truck driver? Because I couldn't afford this 2 years ago. So it's like a joke. Everything becomes a joke with me. It was a joke. It was like, I don't recommend it, people. I don't recommend it 100%, but it worked. You don't want to go to jail. You don't want to do this. But in the end, it turned out that, that's what it needed to do to become a truck driver, was go to jail. And then when I got out, this program paid for it, California Service League. Good for them. And now I'm giving back to society. I'm paying child support, and I'm out of trouble for now. I never was in trouble, but it's a perfect job. As I said, I get online and I'm still writing at night, and I still have a website up. I can't get it right now. I don't know what's going on with the Wi-Fi here, but I'll put it up. I'll tell you what it's like. rightsforfamilies.wordpress.com. RIGHTS, the number 4, families, FAMILIES, .wordpress. It's a free blog site, wordpress.com. And I have all the, I have the lawsuits that I've done. I filed in federal court and this and that, and a little bit of the history. It's not. It's not very nice to the children's father, but it's also very truthful about what's going on and how I want to change some laws. And I mean, he hasn't. So anyway, so that's how I got to be a truck driver. Was I got out of jail and right away I got out of jail like in and then so it's a good job. Somebody said that what a truck driver is, it's a jail cell with a view. So felons probably do very well. I don't know how many felons they have in truck driving, but it seems like a lot of companies didn't mind. When I said I had not, what they minded more was my lack of experience. But now I feel like I've got a job for life if I need it, because I do have the experience now, and only 2 or 3 companies didn't want felonies. Most of them were okay with it. And I thought that was great. Oh, the cat's going after some birds. So good for trucking. And I got what I wanted to do. I didn't do trucking. It was not like, oh, I'm a felon, I have to be a trucker now. Darn. It was like, wow, I'm actually having it paid for, trucking school. So that's that, and that's the story of my background. And I'm sorry it took so long. It's just I was going to not mention anything of the past, but it's hard for me to do that. Once I started to think about how am I going to explain this visit at a Starbucks really quickly, and I don't have a home here in San Francisco. How am I going to explain a lot of stuff? I can't tell you where I'm going. I can't tell you where I am until I tell you where I've been. And it's a little complicated and a little long, but I got it out. And I've been blogging about this on and on. I don't keep it on my blogs. I'm very open about it. But one thing I want to say is I want to separate pride. Like on my blogs, I never mention Pride Transport. And if I were to put up a webcam, I was going to put like a hat that says Pride. Well, maybe not. I think as a joke, it's funny because I'm gay, I'm bisexual gay, and people joke here in San Francisco, like I'm going to get tagged and they're going to write gay above Pride. And it's going to say gay Pride all over my truck, So it's like, I think it's hilarious and ironic that I'm working for Pride. And when I'm in San Francisco, they don't like you wearing a big old flag shirt like that in San Francisco, but they do like me driving around in a truck that says Pride, because it's just like gay pride, and they love it. So I like coming to San Francisco with the truck. I get a very good reception. People just love truckers, and the truck is very beautiful. Even right now, the children's father lives with a man named Adam, and it's been a long time relationship with him for 3 or 4 years now. It's like their second dad. And they said Adam loves your truck, and he's the one who made the birthday cake. Actually, he owns a cafe down on Church Street, and he makes pastries and things. And he made that birthday cake. It's delicious. He's a very good Adam. He's Greek. He's very tall too, and handsome Greek guy. But that's a good relationship they have there, and they've been doing a fine job. I mean, I had the kids full time for 5 years, and now he has them. I had them a lot in between that time. I kept losing them, but he's got them. He's doing a good job. He's keeping them in. They're in a Catholic school right now, and which is fine because I was raised Catholic, but I didn't instill much religion in them. So I'm kind of glad they're at the Catholic school and they receive First Communion and they learn a little bit about God. But I told them, like when they were doing First Communion, they know their mom is a protester, and they actually, the first time I went to jail, they're like, my mom's in jail, she's like Martin Luther King. They were actually kind of proud of it, and they kind of brag about it because that's what I want to make them proud. I'm not proud, but I am doing this for a reason. I'm standing up for my rights, and when you fight for the rights of one, you fight for the rights of all. And it's really, the family court has really, the pendulum has swung way too far toward away from parental rights. They just have way too much power, and it's not good for the families. It's not good for children, and nobody seems to fight for children. They always say this is in the best interest of children, and nothing is in the best interest of children. It's in the best interest of them, job preservation for all these people who shouldn't have a job. We shouldn't be paying so much taxes for all this stuff. So I want to save taxpayer money and our families all at the same time. So that's that. And that's the story, and it's a long story, and I'm sorry, but once it comes out, it comes out. I'm very, I have, my political views, but I do, as I was saying, I do keep it from Pride. I don't mention Pride on my blogs at all. I say I work for a trucking company from Salt Lake City, and I do want to say if there's any kind of disclaimer, it's like the company does not support the views of anything I say or whatever it is. I'm sure you know that, but they hired me, and work is work. I get there on time, I do what I need to do, but play is play at night, and my second job is completely separate from Pride. They might not agree with any of my views, for all I know. I mean, I'm sure they're all voting for Romney there, because he's Mormon, right, or something. I mean, who cares who you're voting for? I mean, it shouldn't be a basis for a job anyway, but still, politics does come out, and it did come out with my driver trainer, which it shouldn't have, or at least he should have respected my views and not made it so much pressure on me to, vote for. He wanted me to vote for Gingrich or something, and I'm like, okay, I'm telling you. I mean, on a certain level, we could joke about this, but I'm not gonna. But this is serious. You are in a powerful position above me as my trainer, and I think that's not appropriate for him to have put some pressure on me. And also I'm finding out it's very, a lot of people in trucking are conservative too, and I can be. I have very conservative views on some things, on whatever, but I also respect people's views and their privacy, and it's not something you should just bring to work at all. Politics and religion is just not for work. Seriously. So I want to make sure in this blog, whatever it is, I just told the kids, I got an idea that I'm going to get a webcam, and just mount it like this one. I'm going to get a setup similar to this, except it's not going to be tape. It's going to just go direct. It's going to feed directly to some online place, and it just stays on. And I just blah 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 whenever I want to, but it just stays on 24 hours while I'm driving. And if I happen to think of something, anybody could come in and they could just log into a computer and see what I'm doing at any time. They can't talk to me, and I can't talk back to them or anything, but we could at least get me connected, at least so they could see me anytime they want and see what I'm doing. If they don't see me here, I'm in the sleeper berth, whatever. So that's a great idea. I'm glad you gave me this project. I'm going to keep it going. I'm going to be a blogging trucker, and if you want any more marketing information, I'll be glad to give it to you. In the meantime, when I have my own blog, I could do more on my political views too, and not, just commenting. It's not views, it's just commenting based on my experience, especially just everything. So, right now, I gotta get moving. What I want to do, I want to go and show you this poster that says that crazy ants deserve to die. And I thought it was a joke, but it's like it's crazy. Only San Francisco, I'll tell you right now. And people they're like, what? San Francisco is racist and misogynistic and sexist? Are you kidding? It's so progressive. No, it is. It just happens to be that way. And I think it's these self-loathing kind of gay men do this. And I know that from experience. They have a lot of little Hitlers in them. And hopefully that'll go away in the future, and it will, because I'm confident that as we proceed, life's just going to get better. The internet makes everything better, and new views make things better. Science makes things better, and we're marching non-stop. It's unstoppable. Sustained world peace is unstoppable. So, I rant a lot, and I have a lot of passionate views about things, and it sounds like the world is coming to an end sometimes the way I talk, but deep down, I believe that so much right now, that the world is just going to get better and better and better as we go forward now. And a big part of that is accepting gay people and the homosexuality as a part of life. 1 in 10 are gay, I'm pretty sure, something like that. So, but anyway, San Francisco, and people go, what are you talking about? It's misogynistic and it's homophobic. On the surface it is. So I say, well, I lived in Houston for 3 years. I thought it was very cosmopolitan, very international, and very progressive city. Houston? Isn't that like in Texas? Aren't they all, I don't know what people get the impression, but when I moved there, and it was very green, it's not dry there, I liked it. It was humid, but it was green, which I like, lots of pretty trees, and the culture was very cosmopolitan and progressive, I thought. And then I'm in San Francisco. Oh, no. And I go, okay, well, let me give you a guess. Out of all the cities in the United States, which city, you would think it would be San Francisco, but which city had the first openly gay mayor to be in all of the United States? You would think, isn't that San Francisco? It's Houston! And it's a female. It's a lesbian. And she's the first openly gay mayor of any city any major city, any city in the United States, Houston, Texas. I love that place. Anyway, I lived there for 3 years while I was at Baylor College of Medicine. I love that job, and if I were going to be a scientist, that was it. I didn't leave because of Baylor College of Medicine. I left because I was leaving all of science when I left to become a full-time mommy for the next 5 or 6 years. Okay, and now I'm like, I've always been a political activist. I'm supposing. I think so. I always have interest in that, and doing it in a civil manner. I'm not harming anybody. I'm not blowing anything up. I'm just writing a lot. and I'm just Dr. Crazy Nut Job. So I'm gonna find this poster and just film it, because it's not trucking, but this is my life, this is what I do, and I'll show it to you. It says, it's just like, it's so sexist, it just shocks me. In the middle of San Francisco, it could be a poster that says this woman deserves to die. Nobody deserves to die, I'm sorry. I mean, that's just like, and it's from the American Cancer Society. Of all people. I mean, shame on them. But I'm going to bet you $1 million there was a gay man behind that poster being posted at all the bus stops here in San Francisco. I'm going to go find it. I'm going to film it. And then I'm going to go, and I got to go pick up my mail. So here's the thing. What do you do when you're a trucker, you don't have a home and you live in your truck? You need to find a place to receive your mail. I could receive it in Salt Lake City, but while I was living here in this little temporary housing, I wasn't on the street. It was good. While I was going to trucking school, I rode my bike there every day. I told you I rode my bike from at 4 in the morning from this little, it's called the Hotel Jerry. You know, it's in the middle of the, biggest crime. It's in the Mission District. It's not, I love the Mission District. It's very mixed there. And I felt fine, though I had people barfing in the alley from drugs and screaming and stuff. It's just not the safest neighborhood in the world, but I didn't mind it. I mean, it's a roof over my head. It was just a room. I had to go down the hall for the bathroom. I didn't care. I was going to trucking school. I was getting on my feet when I got out of jail. I appreciated the living spaces. And as I said, you have to be that way if you're going to be a trucker. I went from that to this, and this is probably roomier than, and I have my own pee bottle, so it's almost like I have my own bathroom when I didn't there. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to head out of town, because I got to get back to this place. I promise I might be back by 11. Got to pick up my empty, hopefully it's empty, and head out to Tracy to pick up the meat load, and we'll get moving. But for now, I'm going to go find this poster. Okay, logging off just for a second. Bye. Talk to you in about 10 minutes.